Welcome to this week's edition of the Volunteer Corner. I am Jane Roy, and I'm here with, I always get this wrong, Karen Hobden. Did I get it right?
Got it.
You've been volunteering at the food bank for how long?
I think about 8 years.
I know, 8 years. And I still get their last name sometimes. So Karen, we talked to Eric last week. Now we're speaking to Eric's better half. To talk a little bit and just see how's it going. So you've been volunteering at the food bank for 8 years. 8 years. Can you tell me what you? Let's talk about what you do.
Okay, first of all, on Wednesday afternoon, I'm on the front desk.
Which means what?
Where I coordinate as the orders come in, and I just tell everybody what we need and sometimes what they forgot. Not always. We're a great group. We do have fun. We're a well-organized Wednesday afternoon group.
So when you're on the front desk, sometimes you're answering your phones, you're directing folks. Clients come into the front, they speak to the computer folks. The computer folks send a message to you and say, we need diapers, we need a one. Then you communicate that to a whole team of volunteers.
Right.
So you get to be the conductor.
I'm the boss.
Oh my goodness, the boss.
Not really.
But you have to multitask all the time. Like, so what do you like about that position and what you do?
I kind of like being in charge. You can say that, but it's true.
Yeah.
So what I like the camaraderie because we do work well together.
We had a great team.
We do have a good team. I just like helping people. That's mainly why we're here. Eric and I retired, and you need something to do, right?
Yeah.
And we're both giving folks, and we like to.
Yeah.
So
when we talked to Eric, we talked about all the different things that you do. So there you are at the front desk, directing people, and it is true. The volunteers are really the true bosses around here. We end up having to answer a lot to you as well. So much so that the staff brings you guys tea and coffee and things. Yeah,
they treat us very well.
Yeah.
They
do. So you do that on Wednesday afternoons. You're part of a great crew, but right now this is Thursday.
Yes.
It's Thursday morning. Why are you in this happen?
Thursday morning I drive. I go take the van and pick up donations from Costco and one of the no-frills stuff.
Yeah. So you're picking up donations. Are they fresh? What are they?
Sometimes they're fresh. Mostly we get bread from Costco. Sometimes Costco will donate some produce that's left over.
Yeah.
And then we go to no frills, and they're very good. The no frills on stuff down there.
Stuff down. Okay, that one.
But they're very good to us. They always have a cart ready for me, and then they'll go and get any meat.
Okay, so you do some of what we call the refresh.
Yes.
And it's different. So different grocery stores call it different things. It's like one more bite, or it's I actually can't remember. I'll have to have somebody else talk about all those different names. But most of the grocery stores all across the city we go to at one point or another. So you go and pick up 2 of them every week. Yeah. But not only are you just driving. So I got in this morning. They were here to pick up the vehicle and take it out, and you're driving. When I came to say, hey, you're ready to go, you were like, no, Jane, I need another 10 minutes. And that was because you were...
I was unloading.
So sorting. And
delivering.
And weighing. Were you weighing as well?
Oh, Eric weighs, but he gives it to me, and then I put it into the computer. So
okay.
I keep track of what we get.
So we do that because we're keeping track of the kinds of food we get. And the best weight is actually through weight. In terms of those, so you weigh the meat separately than the bread and all those kind of things. So we right now are in the art room, right? So this has become a multi-purpose room. So it's like, oh my goodness, so somebody's been here doing diapers. So but you are so when you're at the front desk, you have to go get diapers.
Yeah, I get diapers. Alternative milk if people are lactose free. We have gluten free hampers. We have no cooking facility hampers and diabetic hampers.
Okay, so is there anything else you do at the food bank? Those are 2 really big things, by the way. Those are really huge.
Well, typically on Thursdays after we're done our run, we're usually done about 10:30. And then Eric and I, we just do whatever needs doing. We'll make hampers or we sort.
Yeah, and I know Eric also builds, so I'm sure you drive around a little bit, which is great.
I drive him around, yes. And I have to help him sometimes with an arrow and the screws.
Does he ever hit your hand?
Oh, no, he doesn't get hammered. I have hammered.
So you've been part of building. So we're actually, part of the reason I wanted to be here as well is these are the desks that we made I shouldn't say we made, Karen and Eric made for
I did most of this, but I did help.
You did help, yeah. So we actually had to build desks for the pandemic so the kids would sit separately.
Right.
So we're still using, which is great.
Yeah, they're well built.
Yeah, yeah. So that's about what you do. Can we talk about you a little bit?
Okay.
Okay. So you came to the food bank 8 years ago, and
Well, we started off like everyone else. We just volunteered as we were needed.
Yeah.
That's how they do it, was through the website.
Yeah.
And we were sorting mostly or making hampers.
Yeah.
And then they asked us to do some driving,
Yeah.
do pickups. So we've been doing pickups on Thursday mornings for quite a while. Then when COVID came along and we were all isolated,
Yeah.
we thought, well, we'll just come here because they needed extra help.
Yeah.
So we joined the Chaos cohort,
Yes.
which is the Wednesday afternoon till Friday. And I did.
That was my team. Chaos.
It was a good team.
Yeah. So during COVID, we split into 2 teams so that if one team got sick, then obviously. And so Brian, who's in many ways we stay organized because of Brian. He had one team and I had the other. And so I made sure our team, we called Team Chaos because we came in and it was a little chaotic. It was all fun,
Oh,
early.
it was. We had a good team.
Yeah.
It was fun.
And then his team was called Control because they were all very organized. They got all the work done. And then we would
Yeah.
mess it up.
We don't
Mess it up.
say that much.
But we had a lot of fun doing it.
Oh, we did.
Yeah.
Yeah. We worked really well together and it was very busy.
It was busy.
Yeah, it got busy.
We had things like Friday afternoon games. Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
It was a lot of
I
fun.
remember, Jane. There's a mushroom spot still in the wall I mentioned.
Yeah, Ben, actually,
That's another story, Mo.
that was the start, though, I think, of a lot of the camaraderie and the team. Like, there was always teams before, but there started to be, we doubled in the amount of clients coming in, the shoot went up, everything got busier. The number of volunteers grew, and so all of a sudden there was more of these teams, and it was great. And it still is great because I think that team atmosphere is great.
For sure.
But why did you come to the food bank to be honest?
Why?
Yeah.
It's a social thing. We're also helping people, but I mean, we've made a lot of friends here.
Yeah.
And, we know each other well.
Yeah.
And it's not work for us. I mean, we are retired, but coming here is not work.
Yeah.
This is, what is it? It's fun. It's fun, but it's also giving.
Well, you're making it, and do you feel like you're making a difference?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Yes. Yeah.
So even though, let's say you're picking up food here in the back, and you're not necessarily, you're seeing the amount of food goes up, but you're not, like there are a group of volunteers that deal directly with the clients of the product. And you're a little bit more on the back end, but do you still feel like you're part of that?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
We all seem to integrate well.
Yeah.
If that's a good word. And,
Yeah.
it's just, I don't know how to explain it, but it's almost like family now.
Yeah.
We're all friends. And
Yeah.
So we do some social activities outside.
Really? I've never been invited. Actually, I think I have been. Well, no. No, which is great, actually. So I think that friendship helps build.
It does.
And it translates over here in terms of the spirits that here. So
Another
thank
thing
you.
I want to say is that we're volunteers, but we're treated well here. The staff,
Let me get you my money out here.
the staff always say thank you, and they appreciate us, and we know that, and it shows.
Yeah.
And I think I have volunteered at other places, and we didn't feel as part of as we do here.
Yeah, I think it's not. How should I say? A lot of other groups which they use volunteer. It's really important. We're just we're what we do with volunteers is you are key to the operation, and so because you become operational, you are like staff in that sense. Even though you're volunteers, and you've got the ability to come and go, and we don't. You can phone at 9 o'clock in the morning and say you're coming in, not coming in.
Yeah.
But you do the work of making sure things get served. So you're not, it's not fundraising, it's not all of those things. And I think those are all really, really important. But the fact that the volunteers, your work is key. So it's easy for us to say thank you. And it's easy for you to also feel like you grew it.
And I do understand that. Don't take me wrong.
Yeah.
It's other places, because they're busy.
Yeah,
And they have
yeah.
their routine, and you're coming, and they're, like any group, a stranger, a new person walks in, it's hard to mesh that. Yeah.
It's true. And there is a process, and this is how you feel after 8 years. It is true. It's not one of the we've talked about this before, one of the biggest complaints about volunteering at the food bank is the fact that it's difficult to get in. And it's difficult to get in because we've got so many volunteers that are doing, and we can't manage as many people. So we are limited in that kind of context. But it is, all of the staff try their best. I'm sure we don't always all great, but we try. But I'm glad that transmits in terms of so.
But it doesn't stay that way.
Yeah, I think it's great. I think volunteers are key, and so we at the Food Bank are calling this consistently there in the volunteer. We've finally got a volunteer coordinator, which is going to help us do a lot of different things, and we've got some big plans in the future as well. Yeah. So little do you know, you're becoming ED. Did you know that? So
I'm ED.
So you're a volunteer, but you're going to be the next executive director.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What did you with that?
No, yeah. Again, thank you for that. So you talked about what you like. Okay, tell me about one thing. If you could change one thing at the food bank, what would it be?
It would be nice when the construction is on. I know, it's a process and all that, but it would be nice to.
It'd be nice to have it.
Because the changes are going to be very well worthwhile.
No. And what we're talking about, the construction, it's been an ongoing project for 4 years. We finally have a washroom at the front, which is great. It's got the waiting room. There's going to be some change with regards to the staff offices and the process of clients kind of coming in, which will help with the flow and make a big difference. Yeah. And we're hoping it makes a big difference. We'll see, and then we'll just adapt. What's been great about the volunteers in the building we have is we've just consistently adapted to all of the big changes, and it's been a lot, hasn't it?
Oh, yeah.
And we've got a new GM coming, so that'll happen probably within a month or 6 weeks.
Okay.
Can't tell everybody yet. Will be soon. But that person coming will not. They will. The first 6 weeks, they're not meant to do anything outside of just be with staff, be with volunteers, get to know us, and then we'll start, as we've gotten bigger, just even some of the organizational things. If we can set up good systems that mean people can still be thanked and be part of teams, then it'll be so much better. And finish the renos. Which is awesome. Anything else I had to get?
One thing I'd like to say is one of the reasons I think it's such a great place to volunteer is that we're all like-minded people. Everybody here wants to help.
Yeah.
And they're willing to put in the effort.
Yeah, actually, I think, I've talked with others about that. It's kind of the commons, so that we all have different personalities and we all have different ways of doing it.
Right.
And anytime there's a clash, it's more about the way we do it than about our common.
Right.
But it is the great place for, it doesn't matter which gender you are, it doesn't matter what religion, what political. We find this common ground. We're just wanting to, I think that's great.
Yeah.
What's it like volunteering with your hubby?
Actually, it's not bad because he's often in the back.
Yeah.
I'm at the front.
Yeah.
Except for Thursdays.
Yeah.
We get along pretty good. Let's get going anyways.
I personally love working with a partner at it. So, but you do have to find your own space sometimes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So
you know that. That's why I say he's in the back all the time and I'm at the front.
Well, but you also have different strengths, right?
Yeah.
Different things in terms of whatever. So, yeah. Okay. No, that's great. And any other follow-ups?
I don't think so.
Okay. I know Eric is involved in external things. Are you involved in other ones as well?
I'm an artist. I paint. I do art.
Yeah.
And I have my mom. I'm
Taking care of your mom.
quite involved with my mother and grandchildren, of course.
Yeah.
So family, pretty much.
And what we find is the people that come have lives outside of you, but they're filled with helping others, helping family, making a difference. So, yeah. And so, as an artist, hey, pass on those in the comment.
Yes.
And I know you donated a lot of those things. They're either gifts and when there's craft shows, and so thank you, because I think it's amazing. So thank you. Yeah, so Karen, thank you for all the work that you do. It's been amazing. It's been a great 8 years.
Yeah, I know.
Another 8 years to go.
Yeah.
At least? Oh, probably.
Who knows?
Yeah, no, anyway. Yeah. So thanks very much for watching. We'll see you at the next Volunteer Corner.